Imagine, you're out having dinner with your significant other when all of a sudden a gunman busts into place and starts shooting it up. You immediately find yourself pinned down behind a table, hearing the ricochet of bullets and the shattering of glass. Do you want that to be you? Of course not. That's what I'm here to talk to you about today. How enforcing a gun ban would hurt honest people more than the criminals that it was set to impose. How guns do have a place in today's society, and it is important that we learn and understand that place. And finally, we are all humans with the ability to reason, so why don't we do so? It is obvious to see that the biggest impact of a gun ban would be the one on honest people, so let's look at that first. Enforcing a ban on all guns would unintentionally hurt honest people who have obtained their guns in a legal manner, more so than the criminals that this ban would be set out to impact. Basically, what I'm saying by that is the only people who would be tracked and required to turn in their guns would be the people who legally obtain their guns in a proper and legal manner, not the ones who obtain them off the street somewhere and have what is known as a throwaway weapon that you can just, use for criminal acts and throw, and no matter who finds it, they can't trace it back to you. Also, taking guns away, enforcing a gun ban would put more innocent people at risk. There are a lot of people who have guns because they live in a bad area, or they live in fear for their life for whatever reason. There are also people who depend on those people. There are people who are scared of guns and don't carry guns. However, they rely on the honest, law-abiding citizens to carry guns for whatever reason to protect them. Whether that's right or wrong, I'm not really going to get into it. But hey, that's some people expect that. Reading an article in the St. Paul's Review titled "Taking Whose Guns?" In a poll, Southerners believe, just like I stated, enforcing a gun ban would take guns away from innocent people instead of criminals. Now that you see what enforcing a gun ban would do to honest people, it is imperative to understand that guns have a place in today's society. So let's learn that place. There's been an increase in violence in recent years, regardless of guns or not. Not to bring up a sensitive subject, but on the same day as the Sandy Hook elementary school shooting, and not to take away from that at all, but in China, a man ran into an elementary school and stabbed 21 kindergartners. Basically, what I'm saying is, if somebody has the will to conduct these horrible criminal acts, they're going to do it regardless if they can get a gun or not. Also, there are many other types of weapons just as dangerous as guns that can be made out of household chemicals or just household appliances that can be turned into your everyday murder weapon. Now that you understand that guns have a place in today's society, it brings up my next argument. We are all humans with the ability to reason, so why don't we do so? Why don't we as humans come together on one of the biggest pressing social issues in the media today and understand that as times are changing, we, the people, need to change with the times in order to remain the #1 powerhouse country in the world. We can't rely on laws from years ago to apply with the changing of society. However, the principles and fundamentals that our society is founded off of needs to be concrete. There are plenty of ways to reason on this issue. There could be agreements on possession and purchase of firearms, all the way from pistols up to rifles and shotguns. And there could also be more punitive actions put in place for those people who illegally obtain guns and distribute them to people who legally would not be able to obtain them otherwise. Pretty much what needs to happen is we need to learn to meet in the middle, and we can resolve these debates. So let's recap everything we went over today. Basically, it is imperative to understand that a gun ban would unintentionally hurt honest people instead of the criminals that it was intended to impact. Next, guns have a place in today's society, so it is very imperative that we learn and understand that place. And finally, we are all humans with the ability to reason, not some kind of zoo animal or jungle animal. So why don't we put our heads together and reason on the biggest social issue of today? Just ask yourself, do you want that to be you pinned down behind the table that I mentioned at the beginning of my speech? Of course not. Thank you.